Hi there, welcome back to Road Tutorials. By now, you have learned about logic and logic value. So let's now dive into our first tutorial on logic gate. Suppose that we want to build a 2-input logic and 1 output logic AND gate. So how are we doing to do that? So at first, definitely we have to declare the names A, B, and C, right? So let's open up our editors. Let's, as usual, move out everything. So final A, let's create a logic, essentially a logic here. Let's give it a name. Okay, let's give a name called input A. In this case, in A, input A. And we have like another input of B. Logic, the name is going to be B, right? And just make it B. And then we have another output logic called C. This name of out C. Right. So that's all. Let's get back to our tutorials. So to create our 2-input logic AND gates, we have to learn new things. The first thing is assignment operator. So to assign the value of one signal to other signals, you have to use the smaller and equal than operators. So, but this is a hardware synthesizable assignment that connects 2 wires together. So let's take a look at example of how to assign a logic signal A to output signal B. So in this case, A is going to connect to B. Yeah. And then in ROHD, we have operators that are similar to those in system Verilog. So if you come from system Verilog, it's going to be easy. Else, you don't have to memorize everything here. You can always come back to this page whenever you feel like you need it. So we have like AND, OR, XOR, unary and all the normal and all the things here. Yeah, so we will keep on coming back to this page, yeah, in the future tutorials as a reference. So we don't have to memorize everything here. But as for now, what we interested is this AND operator, because in our AND gate, A is going to use the AND operator, right? Yeah. So that's why we have to memorize this symbol here. Great. Now we have learned all about operators. Let's continue our journey and create an AND gate. So C, we have to do the assignment of C. So first, just create C, and then we want to use the assignment operator. We want to say that the output of A, and then so remember the operators, it's going to be AND operators and B. Yeah. So now the output of A and B is going to be connected to C. Okay, save it. And let's check what's next. Alright. So next, we want to use the put functions. So remember in the last section, last tutorials, we use like put function to put the value, to deposit the value. And now we want to use this put function to send us limited signals to our input AND gate, right? Yeah. So let's see one example here. So we can use just put for the value of A. So this example, if we don't need it. Now we can test our logic gate with the simulators. So we can also use like for loop, like I and J, to put value of these integers to A and B using a for loop. So just think of it something as a truth table. You can use for loop to create your truth table. Cool, isn't it? Right. So let's get back to our code here. So we can just try with a simple example. Let's just test it with A dot put value of 1 and B dot put value of 0, and we try to print out the value of C, right? So C, can you see? You can see the say file. C value is going to be C dot value. Okay, so you want to see integers? Sure, just use twin. Print, like what is C value? And just run put 1 and 0 when we end, it should be written 0, right? Yep, it's going to be 0. So How can I use for loop to create a truth table? Well, a nested for then. You just create for loop here. Just normal I operator less than or equal to 1, and then I pass pass, and then this I is going to send to A, and we need to have another B. Script for J equal to 0 and J is equal to 1, J pass pass, and then we want to put A and is in here, right? And then we want to print out the value of C. Well, you know what? To make things easier, I will just copy these things here. So we don't have to, like create a variables every time. Just print out the value of C. So you can save some memory space. Just run it. Yeah, 0, 0, 0. Just create a truth table here. I can say, oops, my mistake. I should put A and J instead. My bad. So A is going to be the value of I, and B is going to be value of J, and C, output C is going to be the value of C, two integers. Note that if in dots, if you want to print out something, if the variable don't have like any dot operators or anything, you can just use $sign and then your variable names. And if you have to call some function, for example, c dot value dot two integers, you have to wrap it inside a curly braces, or else it won't pick up. It won't doesn't know that this dot value dot two in is going to be part of your variables, right? Yeah. So just run the code. We're going to see a truth table here. Yeah. So let's say A and B is 0, C is going to be 0. If A and B is 1, C is going to be 0. Yeah. So only A and B is 1, C is going to be 1. Yep. So we built a truth table using ROHD. Yeah, great job. Yeah. So this is about how in these tutorials you learn how to use assignment operators, and then you also learn how to use logical and mathematical operator like the AND operator just now. Yeah. And then how to use for loop to inject signals. And until then, happy coding!